Rizz, a word that is short for charisma, is a term that started gaining traction in the year 2021, notably being used by Twitch streamers such as Kai Cenat, Silky, and Duke Dennis, but its origins date back even further than that in smaller New York City circles. It didn't start becoming super popular until the end of 2022, with it peaking in Google's search engine in December 2023. As of 2024, it is a very common word that is used amongst the youth. It is a noun, and what it means is to measure someone's ability of being attractive, having charm, or being skillful in flirtation, which allows one to easily attract romantic partners. Just like most of the slang I will discuss in this video, this word became very popular on social media, and many memes have been made around it. Some notable phrases people often use with this word is Rizz God, signifying someone who has a large amount of Rizz, Rizz, which means someone who has good rizzing skills, and also negative Rizz, which unlike the previous two, isn't a compliment, and it means someone who has less than 0 Rizz. Mewing is a slang term that refers to a tongue exercise in which a person is to rest their tongue against the roof of their mouth, and some claim that this method can change the shape of one's jawline, being able to make it more prominent. The history behind this word dates back to the year 2012, thanks to the British orthodontist, Mike Mew. He made a video on YouTube titled What is Orthotropics, where he showcases treatment he was able to give people, which gave them more prominent jawlines. 2 years later, a YouTube channel known as 21 Studios uploaded a presentation by Dr. Mew, where he explains the theory behind the tongue exercise and how it improves one's jawline. Shortly after this presentation was uploaded, it started spreading on numerous internet forums, specifically Red Pill ones, and in 2018, many YouTubers in this circle started to talk about this exercise, which helped the word spread around even more. It didn't start gaining major traction until the beginning of this year though, where most people now reference this method ironically, rather than actually taking it seriously, as there is much debate on whether this exercise actually even works or not. Many memes have been created around this tongue exercise, and the usage of this word often goes hand in hand with the next word I will discuss. Looksmaxxing is a slang term based on the idea of maximizing one's physical appearance. Whether that means genuinely working on oneself to look physically more attractive, or more commonly, using filters or adjusting the camera in certain angles when taking a selfie to help with making oneself look better. This word originated in the year 2015, mostly being used in online incel forums, especially on 4chan and Reddit, with the idea that if a person looks more attractive, they're able to improve their social status. Like mewing, this word exploded in popularity at the beginning of this year, mostly being used in ironic ways, with many memes around it being created in the process. Cooked, which is sometimes used in a way such as I am getting cooked or you got cooked, is a slang term used to describe a situation where someone is getting insulted. It can also be used in ways such as I'm cooked or it's cooked to signify something being bad or disappointing. This term was used in a popular online clip from 2019 where the American boxer Adrian Broner states, I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked. And around this time, the word started to grow in popularity all over social media. The origins of this term date back years ago, with it apparently first being used around 2009 to 2010. Although this word has been around for quite some time, according to Google search engine, it has reached its all-time peak popularity this year, and it seems to only continue to grow in usage, with it now being one of the most popular slang terms used today. Let him cook is a phrase used as a way of recognizing someone's ability in whatever it is they are saying or doing. When someone claims a person is cooking, it means they are doing an exceptional job with whatever it is they are pursuing. This phrase originates from a YouTube video that was uploaded all the way back in the year 2010, where a fan of the rapper Lil B dances to one of his songs, claiming that Lil B is cooking. Lil B then leaned into this the same year, uploading a video online teaching people how they can cook as well. Eventually, the term resurfaced in the year 2022 on social media, and although this phrase peaked in popularity in 2023, it is still being used very often in 2024, with many memes and different variations of this phrase coming about. Chat is a slang term that originates from live streamers on platforms such as Twitch, YouTube, and more, where streamers often refer to their viewers as chat, as this is the main way that viewers are able to communicate with their streamer using the chat box found on pretty much every live streaming platform. Although this term has been used for many years, it was made popular thanks to the YouTuber known as iShowSpeed in 2023, where he asks the question, chat, is this real? Typically ironically, as he often asks this whenever he's watching obviously fake content. Because of the comedic ways in which he did this, these clips started going viral online, inspiring many people, content creator or not, to use this phrase whenever something unbelievable is happening. The word chat is also now used as an extension of that phrase, where many people often refer to other individuals as chat now. This word and phrase are both currently being used the most they ever have in the year 2024. Edging and edge are slang terms used in memes and online discourse, and it is the act of preventing oneself from orgasming just before reaching climax to prolong a sexual experience. An edger is someone who participates in said activities. Although there are many people who actually do edge out there, it is now predominantly used ironically and in memes, as most people view it as an absurd and comedic action. With that being said, the earliest time we know that this term has been used goes back as far as 2003 and probably even predating the internet, though it never gained popularity popularity until the end of 2023 and beginning of 2024 throughout social media and especially on TikTok. The phrase "I edged to you" was often spammed in many TikTokers' comment sections, with the goal of said commenters typically trying to get a comedic reaction out of the TikTokers. With that being said, this term is frequently used alongside the next word I will be discussing. Gooning is a practice that involves a person pleasuring themselves for prolonged periods of time without climaxing, which is what edging is. But gooning is kind of a more in-depth version of that concept, as it focuses on achieving a thing known as the goon, which is a sensation of full mental numbness and dissociation from anything unrelated to the process. This practice started gaining widespread recognition online in the year 2022, which inspired many memes and references such as goon caves and gooning kits. Usually, this practice involves someone being absurdly obsessed with adult content to the point of addiction, and people who take part in this activity refer to themselves as gooners. The origins of this word started in 2019 on Reddit, and since then, like edging, most people online just find it absurd. This term exploded in popularity this year, with it currently being at its peak right now, at least according to Google's search engine, and people mostly just use this term in ironic and comedic ways. Gyatt is a slang term used predominantly on social media, and its meaning is a shortened version of the word goddamn, in which it refers to a person's posterior, and for those of you who are not intellectuals like myself, that just means ass. Typically, it's said very fast and aggressively, most often when an attractive person passes by with a large butt. This word has been used on Twitter since the late 2000s, but typically not in the same context as it is used now though. But with that being said, it didn't become notable until the year 2021, mostly due to Twitch streamers such as Kai Cenat and Your Rage using it frequently. This word reached its peak popularity at the end of 2023 alongside Rizz, but it's still used extremely often in 2024. Skibidi is unlike most of the words I will discuss in this video, as all of them have some sort of meaning and actually contribute to a conversation in some way, but Skibidi is nothing like that. This word originates from an extremely popular YouTuber who goes by the name DaFuckBoom, who uploads animations based on the video game Gmod, and he has a video series known as Skibidi Toilet, where men's heads come out of toilets singing a song. Yes, it seems very random, and for most people who aren't children, we just simply won't understand it. And that kind of also is just the case for the word Skibidi, as like the videos, it has no underlying meaning and is just purely random, with most people saying it ironically or kind of just as a filler word. This word reached its all-time popularity earlier this year, but the videos that this man uploads have not slowed down with gaining views, as they still get tens of millions. Lock-in is a phrase used to describe the act of concentrating or focusing on something. Many memes around this have been created, with a serious face identifying someone who is locking in. A popular example of this meme is a clip from the anime series known as Parasite, where a character from it changes his face from a relaxed state into a serious and intense expression, in which people started posting this clip on social media, saying things like, "It's time to lock in," which helped push the meme and phrase even further. This phrase originated in 2009, but it didn't start gaining popularity until 2023 thanks to the memes. And now in 2024, although it is still used in ironic and comedic ways, many people seem to have actually adapted it into their vocabulary. Womp Womp is an expression that people use online in a negative way, typically whenever they don't like something, or when they are mocking a person or a thing. With that being said, the context of which it is used is important, as many friendly individuals use it to one another with the goal of indeed mocking each other, but usually for comedic purposes. This phrase has been around for years obviously, but it has gained extreme popularity this year in 2024, where many people will say it under social media posts, and especially on TikTok comment sections. The first popular version of this meme came from an interview in 2018, where a man on a news interview is told that a 10-year-old girl with Down syndrome was separated from her parents, in which he interrupts the person informing him on this, saying "Womp Womp," mocking the situation in a sarcastic way and undermining the little girl. Although this was a pretty mean way in which the phrase was used, like I said before, it's not always used in such a negative context. A Sigma male is a slang term that refers to a man who's successful and popular, but also silent and rebellious. A type of man who likes to play by his own rules. The origins of this word date back to the year 2010, and although it has been popular for a few years now, it has reached its all-time peak in popularity according to Google's search engine this year. And that is mostly thanks to the phrase, what the Sigma, a viral audio clip of someone responding to a message they received, and their voice resembles the character Squidward from SpongeBob SquarePants. The audio of this video spread around TikTok like wildfire, and eventually on all social media platforms as well. Although this phrase is seemingly random, the original word has a lot of meaning to it, but most people just use it in comedic and sarcastic ways, usually poking fun at the idea of anyone who actually uses the word unironically. The term ate, which is typically used in phrases such as "you thought you ate" or "you ate that," is a way of telling someone that they either did or didn't do something entertaining, successful, or funny. Typically, it's used in a more negative way, essentially calling people out for failing at something that they were trying to achieve. This term has been around since 2008, but it really grew in prominence around 2021 thanks to social media platforms such as TikTok and Instagram. At the beginning of this year, it had another rise in prominence, and many people have adapted it into their vocabulary, with many memes around it still rising in prominence to this day. The final term that I will be discussing in this video is about the word him, which is often used in phrases such as bro thinks he's him, I'm him, or you're him. When using it in the first context, it is with the purpose of taunting men who are trying to achieve something, especially if they have a cocky attitude while doing it, but aren't successful in doing so. When claiming someone is him, it means their efforts are to be celebrated and they did something impressive or successful. These phrases first started to appear in online sports discussions around 2021, but in 2023, it expanded outside of that, gaining much popularity. And although it's not at its peak popularity on Google's search engine in 2024, it is still used very often today. Thank you very much for watching this video, and if you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe and leave a like. This is a new style of content for me, as I usually just cover topics regarding TV shows and film, but if this does well, I'll definitely do more videos like this in the future. Anyways, thank you again, and goodbye.